I really ain't feel like waiting. Up in here vibing with this plantation rum. Even put a little piece of petalite in there. That petalite is not my messiah. That petalite is not what's gonna save me. Let me know if everything running smooth, if the audio straight. Can y'all hear me? Do I need to talk lower, louder? What's up? But first and foremost, before even getting in, even further, man, ethering our own ego doesn't mean kill your ego. Your ego is a helpful tool, you know, as far as like, it's a vessel, and I say a vessel, but you use your bodysuit in order to play out, what you're dealing with in this realm, to leave. That's what most importantly, you know what I'm saying, to leave this realm. My true existence is outside of this hologram. Take shot. But just coming back to me, and also it's coming up because again, I always gotta speak on first and foremost. In most cases, it's happening in my realm, and it's like, well, I'm slipping in. That's why I call this video, how N.A.M almost caught me slipping. And if y'all don't know what N.A.M stands for, it's the New Age movement. And no coincidence that we talk about wars and stuff like that. People call Vietnam War N.A.M. But anyway, that's the whole aspect and breaking down our ego. What's up, y'all? I see y'all coming through. Because it's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of us, to realize how much we've been, externalizing our growth. And again, even going to the crystals, it's like working with the crystals and applying, like I say, like I could work with Black Obsidian to bring some lessons up to the forefront, but what am I doing after those lessons come up? You know what I'm saying? It's like also the application of knowledge. Like I could learn about what happened in Kemet, what happened in Atlantis, what happened on Mars, what happened on Saturn, which again, everything outside of us is a projection from what's inside of us, And we're gonna get, a little more into that. But breaking out of the Messiah syndrome, that subconscious programming that something externally is gonna save me. Like whether, and again, I done caught myself falling into almost all these little situations, like again, like, and I realized when I would do videos where I would feel like, sometimes I would start stuttering because that energy was about to come up, like where I was speaking on it in alignment, and then a certain programming was trying to like pop up while I'm speaking in alignment with what really is, because like a spirit guide, that's us, in essence, the ancestors, that's us. It ain't no aliens, ain't nothing outside of us. Hence why everything is all about movies going into outer space and going outside, and anything we learn about our spiritual growth is about going inside, And also, what's important too is realizing this is a free will universe, and we all got our own terms and conditions of what we signed up to do. You know, you may have signed up to be the master of collecting ones in the strip club, bouncing your ass in the strip club, and that you come from Planet Strip a lot. Shout out to, I think Brother Panic brought it up like that. And that's what you came to learn in this realm, in this lifetime. And that's another thing, breaking down our humanity, because we got this programming from church that everything has to be holier than thou. Because I even catch myself with that bowing shit and trying to be nice, and it's like, you know, it's not, And again, to each his own. I ain't tell as I'm speaking on any of this, in which you should be accountable to know not to listen to everything that I'm saying in that sense of it. But just take what resonate, leave what don't. It's not. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm speaking on inner gnosis, how things coming up. But again, with myself, the lion beings this, the lion beings that. Yeah, there's some type of connection in these stories played out again, it's like an energy signature, you know what I'm saying? And these stories are basically, in essence, our subconscious mind that we done gave little, like try to say like gay day. Gay day represents the sexual energy. If you're unfamiliar, gay day from the one of the lawas from voodoo or Yoruba, but he represents that sacral chakra energy within ourselves. It's not no necessarily being that you actually worshiping when uh, when you put out the glasses that have one eye missing in them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of the little things that you put on the altar, or little candies and stuff like that, or hot sauce. You know, you're not worshiping anything. Again, the conscious mind deals with the story of, hey, gay day do this, or Shun wear honey on her lips and kissed Ogun and then kissed Shango and she had both of them beefing. That's little stories for our conscious mind, and dealing with the altars, and hence our altar is called altar because it alters our consciousness in that sense as well. No coincidence, but it's for us to interface with our subconscious mind. So when I'm putting out some honey and some cinnamon and all that, my subconscious let me know like, hey, this is Oshun energy I'm dealing with. It's another thing important too, hence why I step back off of the herb for a little while. And there's nothing good or bad, right or wrong with the herb. To each his own on our growth. Again, as I'm saying, this is not for you to like, oh, well, I need to, if it resonates and you feel your inner energy telling you this, then cool, but if not, just take what I'm saying as entertainment, or you know what I'm saying, but it ain't for you to follow if it ain't resonating with you. But again, like tapping into the dream language or the subconscious talk, 'cause that's all different for all of us, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they got general aspects of, well, a dog means this in my dream, or a blackbird means death and rebirth, or you know what I'm saying? But it's all about, again, learning what's going on inside of us and mastering knowing ourselves to the fullest. And whenever we dealing with information, it's information to help us master what's going on inside of us, because we all unique universes, you know what I'm saying? Little extensions of source, for lack of a better word, that's coming here to experience, things from a unique perspective, But again, and I I spoke a little bit on this, like how Moldavite and psychedelics, another realm of like the Jesus aspect, where it's like, oh, the DMT gonna save me, the mushrooms gonna save me, the Moldavite gonna save me, you know, all those different vibes. It's like, yeah, all these different things help. You know what I'm saying? Again, first and foremost, again, we are the walking crystals. I am a crystal. I am the D. Matter of fact, we do secrete DMT ourselves, and we could tap into all these things through meditation. You know, but again, to each his own on how we deal with these things and how we go about it, because it's, again, tapping into your own inner guidance, like, and with helping yourself, it's like you going within yourself and asking questions to your higher self, because you are your higher self, like spirit guides or whatever. That's like, and you think about it again, like, as above so below, as within so without. The only person that could help us in this realm of reality is us, nobody else. So it would make sense that it would be us, quote unquote, our higher self. Like, that would be us, you know what I'm saying? Because it's nothing external, you know. And why all these movies and stuff make you touched by an angel and all this externalizing, for one, making, again, still seem Christian and holy, and making it seem like it's something outside of you that's coming to save you. And I didn't use the terminology from the skillet to the frying pan. It's like, oh, it ain't a skillet, it's a frying pan. Nigga, you still frying in that motherfucker, whether the name is skillet with 2 L's or frying pan. It's still burning your ass up. And again, and again, when we talk about ether and the ego, you gotta start, you gotta be truthful with yourself and realize, like, oh, fuck, I have been fucking following this shit, and I keep, because the only way to help yourself is to realize, like, again, how Alcoholics Anonymous start off. Matter of fact, speaking of Alcoholics Anonymous, which I'm not no alcoholic, but drink, but it start off by saying, hi, my name is such and such, I'm an alcoholic. And that sound like some corny shit, but that's like for them to say, like, hey, admitting, like, because in order for you to fix a problem, you got to admit that there is one. You know what I'm saying? Again, not no problem is no good, bad, right, or wrong. This is just situations we came down here to deal with. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reasons, that we know, and not nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And hence why, again, I found it important for myself to just keep tapping into that inner energy. But you gotta know why you came down here, first and foremost, and that's how you gonna lead this motherfucker, is knowing why you came down here. Because again, you might have came down here to be to have 1,000 children. You might have came down here to have a monogamous relationship. You might have came down here to have a polygamous relationship. You might have came down here again to do whatever your inner being signed up to do, your terms and conditions. You might have came down this bitch to smoke a lot of herb or something. Again, but as I'm saying that, don't take my words for it in that sense of it. You gotta fucking go within and ask yourself. Again, as I'm saying that to y'all, that's something that I'm making sure that I'm getting. Again, Triple H, habitual healthy habits, man. We gotta tap into the habitual nature of constantly, getting comfortable with tapping into our intuition and asking ourselves our inner questions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, and what else? As a matter of fact, I think about one of my first downloads. Matter of fact, let me slow down because another thing I catch myself like talking about. Talking kind of fast, as if I'm gonna forget what I'm speaking on. I gotta trust that I'm gonna remember. What kind of drink is that? That's some and it's some pretty good shit. Like again, my inner guidance. Cause I be having, and yes, we could tap into our earthly plane ancestors in that sense of it. Like I know if I'm dealing with lottery tickets or something like that, my pops was heavy on lottery tickets. And I spoke on that in the older video. Like for your earthly plane shit, you want to tap into, the earthly plane energies. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're trying to fucking pay some bills and then you tapping into call it my energy, that energy again, that's within you. But that energy don't give a fuck about, paying no bill. That shit just want to see you, you know what I'm saying, just be raw about your soul, you know what I'm saying, in that sense of it. But again, we all different on what type of soul purpose we got and how we chose to play it out and what we chose to do. When I look at myself, I see that, my thing is, in essence, teaching. Like I came to teach through talking and music. Like that's the main things that I always got from my DMT trips. All the when I look back at my life and again being a master of ceremonies, in kindergarten, all that, they would always want me to be the MC of all the little plays and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I always come off as like I could just explain things to people well, and I like talking. Hence why a lot of times I would come across people who would talk a lot and feel like some kind of way, but that was just me disliking, like being against the aspect of me talking a lot, like as if something was wrong. Now of course you don't want to you want to have a certain balance about your chakras and stuff like that, and even with that, like with eating healthy, you'll be the healthiest human, but you still will be in here. It's like meditation, chakra work, eating healthy, that helps. But it's like I still have to like subconsciously program myself to know it's about like not no human moral stuff, and to be the God that I am in that sense of it. I know. But yeah, we have to be able to eat our ego with truth, no holding back, or that shit will hold us back for not keeping it real with ourselves. Again, of course, the the saying peace, stuff like that, that kind of just I say comes with the territory in that sense. But some type of greeting, like what's up, brother, brother, like again, it's about being authentic. It's not saying that something is good or bad about being nice, but again, a lot of this niceness is picked up from N.A.M, the New Age movement. You know, it's picked up from that. And again, from my last videos, you all also realize again that we are the creators of all this in this realm. So it's not for us to, look at it good or bad, right or wrong. It's the pressure to make a diamond. I chose this pressure to make a diamond out of me. You know what I'm saying? So, to look again, that's back external, like, oh, New Age movement, this and that. I created the New Age movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I drew the blueprint. But again, like for me, with that bowing and trying to be nice shit, it's more than just that. But blessings, y'all. See y'all coming through. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on a YouTube live. I was feeling it, but any external thing telling us how to do us is basic lostness. Like, and we have to catch ourselves even when we kind of, you got to be careful with, even with looking for advice. Like, it goes back to the inner guidance. Like sitting down with ourselves and asking our inner guidance, what's best for us, or what's best for me. Like, what's best for me? Like, what kind of foods I should be eating higher self? Because again, you're talking to yourself. And that's another thing. If you got to switch up saying higher self or whatever, say it in a way where that it's you, Because I was about to say, with one of my earliest downloads on how I should treat this whole realm, was like looking at it like it's all, like I'm just by myself in this realm. That everybody is like a figment of my imagination, which I done spoke on it like that. And that doesn't mean that the other soul sparks like, oh, they ain't shit. It means that, it's just the best way for me to subconsciously program. Again, the best way for me to subconsciously program myself, what I'm saying, to be in alignment with the aspect that is me creating everything within my realm of reality. And the moment that I look at something else, or it's because of the Europeans, or it's because of the Illuminati, or it's because of this, it's because of that, then that's going to constantly shift me into a subconscious place of lostness, and I'm always kind of first-hand nature, because again, subconscious is it's like being on autopilot. Like, I mean, it runs like 99.8% of what we do and say within our day. So, just the autopilot shit of what we do and say. Again, hence with me kind of just going to the bowing and trying to be nice. It's like, if I'm still doing that, that's because somewhere subconsciously I still feel like, in order to make it to heaven, I gotta bow to people, and in order to make it heaven, I gotta eat just vegetables. In order to, what I'm saying. It's like, nah, it's breaking out of, this human moralistic way of looking at things, And if anything, because even for like healing, for those of us who feel like, all right, my job is to heal, because even with the crystals is something that comes second, for me in that sense of it. Yeah, it helps, but it is, at the end of the day, it's about us being a beacon of light with knowing this information, and again, doing what we got to do for our realm first and foremost, because somebody could say like, bro, look at the way that motherfucker so and so just was like the guy that, like, look at the way Prince wore them pants with his ass out, like he ain't give a fuck about what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how he helped us heal. It wasn't technically, and that's not knocking us who do have like the helping, whether it's helping people how to meditate, helping people with Reiki work, helping people with crystals, helping people with any of these things, that still helps. But again, it's realizing ultimately it's about being a beacon through, standing, in that energy, and realizing too, it's not about being on any extremes. Hence why everything is about going in between the two pillars. You're not trying to be extremely feminine or extremely masculine, or, extremely negative, extremely positive. Is that middle pillar, And again, as I'm speaking on that, like, that's something, I'm making sure that I'm constantly taking care of myself. I'm not up here trying to, again, like, talk down or none of that shit. But, if somebody say, oh, you cursing too much. Who said cursing is something bad? You know, was it some people who created the Bible 2,000 years ago and just came about 2,000 years ago that knew some gods was going to be awakening, so they created some human moralistic systems to kind of help slow that shit down? You know, was it those people? You know, again, everything that you created, you know, we created this realm, at least some of us. And that's the reality. As I say, some of us, oh, so you trying to say that these people ain't this and that? Look, some people are part of creating this realm, and some may not be. That's nothing, you know, that's not talking down on nobody. That's a reality. This is about truth. It's about truth, and you know, how they say that sometimes the truth hurts, and which I spoke on that, like, oh, the blunt truth. Like, it shouldn't even be no fucking such thing as the blunt truth. Like, what is the blunt truth? The truth is the truth. Like, I'm being blunt. And that's where, again, though, that's where the work come in, you know, for us to tap into this realm of going within and breaking out of these human moralistic vibes and breaking out of this external dependency for a Messiah. Hence why I say so many times, you know, I'm not your guru, and I even have to stop that so much. You know, it's like, bro, y'all gotta be accountable for knowing what's up and not just be following everything I say or just always trying to listen to me, you know. Because again, I catch myself with, you know, watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's like I should be doing it out of the situation, not looking at it to replace my internal guidance. You know what I'm saying? But you know, tapping into whatever information, whether it's a book, cause matter of fact, I think about the book Cyclomancy, which I need to finish reading. But you know, it's tapping into. You could use those external modalities, but is what resonates within your soul, you know what I'm saying? Not just looking to things externally to do everything for you, you know what I'm saying? Because again, from the skillet to the frying pan, it's not a preacher on Sunday no more, but it's so and so on YouTube, you know, every other day or every day or whatever the case may be. And again, I'm just being me by making these YouTube videos. You know, yeah, I got 1,000 videos, but I ain't doing it to say, hey, everybody, you gotta watch me like you watch a preacher or follow me like you follow a guru or none of, you know what I'm saying? I'm being me. Shout out to Alan Watts saying, you know, like a bird could be, you know, on a little tree branch singing a song just to be singing this song. Like he's singing that song and chirping because that's what he feel like doing or he or she feel like doing in that moment. Now, if you want to take a picture and take should I say get a camera and take a picture of that bird, or you want to make a video of that bird, or you want to record that bird singing, that's on you. But that bird is just being itself, and it don't give a fuck what, you know, if you look at it the wrong way or whatever, you know, it just knows how to be itself. And again, and that bird not gonna trouble itself over, oh, I wonder if the humans think I'm singing for them. Oh, I wonder, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just singing, you know. Yeah, 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 yeah. But no, because even doing stuff like this on camera, you know, it's to help, you know, help realize, man, you know, what you sipping on, bro. All right, I'm gonna share again one more time. It's called. Oh, and I don't think I said it the first time. It's a plantation. Plantation is a rum. I know plantation, huh? But again, breaking out of that shit. Oh, perfect example. I could have been like, oh, well, no, you know, my ancestors and this and that, they was on the plantation, so I'm not gonna get that because they say plantation and this and that. It's like, bro, look, this is a matrix. I don't like using that word. This is a hologram, you know, that we came down here and we learning lessons in, and you know, my heart gonna be light as a feather, you know, and so I ain't tripping on that. all I was worried about was how, like, fire is, like, cause I like unique shit or some shit that's imported from somewhere, things of that nature, you know. But yeah, this we're a product of Barbados. What else? And it also was bottled by somebody in France and all kind of good little hologram shit. You know? But gotta stay in the habitual nature again of, breaking our conscience down. Again, admitting where, like, because again, if you can't admit that, oh man, like, fuck, I was, got caught into this vibe, again, of hopping from the skillet to the frying pan, of looking at somebody like a preacher, waiting for, the Lyrians to come back, or the Orion beings to come back, or, hoping that when I go out in nature, that just that's gonna save me. Like, no, all those things help. Like, they're all pieces to the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? And hence why, again, like the N.A.M. It's like some organization. That's which it is in essence, organization that we created. But the New Age movement, brings out these things in only partial truths. You know, and it's a reason why, like, again, that ain't knocking none of these people that have these books. Of, man, I learned a lot from the power of now, and I be learning a lot from Abraham Hicks videos. But again, there's only so much gonna be said, and you gotta be accountable in your realm in reality to not be following all of everybody's words and what somebody else is doing. You know, again, may be a tough one to swallow, but either swallow that big ass pill or come back to this motherfucker. Which one? You choose. Choose your destiny. Y'all remember Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. I gotta look back at Mortal Kombat. Is probably talking to some shit too. You know. Again, shout out to the 4 agreements. Can't take anything personal, not even insults or compliments. I appreciate. Look, I could always say, "Oh yeah, thank you for the compliments, things of this nature," but I can't take that to my head. I think about Jim Brown speaking on, like, going to the Hall of Fame. And he was like, "Shit, I didn't need the NFL to give me that yellow jacket." You know what I'm saying? And put my picture up to know I was a Hall of Famer. Like, I know I was going out there and bruising niggas every down. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew, like, you know who you are. You don't need no pat on the back in that sense. But look, I'm grateful that I'm, being that beacon. You know what I'm saying? To shine that light in that sense. As a matter of fact, I started using beacon because, you don't want to get lost in the sauce of, like, when you say beacon of light and just looking at it as, it's all light. It's light and dark. The yin and yang is a black and white symbol. It's not just one color, in that sense of it. But where was I? But yeah, and getting back on myself, like, I resonate with crystals, and I work with them, but I had to quickly realize that those crystals, like, not to turn those crystals into Jesus, because that was the whole reason why the Jesus character was created, when Christianity came around. Like, at first it was all about, having an understanding of the Christ consciousness and that Christ energy. But then again, later, other people took it and was trying to confuse, because again, they knew later on that some beings were going to start waking, and the sleeping giants, the Nephilim. Think about H.P. Lovecraft, and he called them the Great Old Ones with Cthulhu and Shub Niggurath. Think about that. How straightforward was he? Shub Niggurath. I like to see what Shub mean on the etymology level, but anyway, that's the whole thing. Like, all this was created to have us, go to some things externally, And you start to realize how real subconscious programming is. Because you could say, oh yeah, bro, I'm straight. I don't follow no shit. Like, I don't worship my crystals, or I don't, worship no aliens, or I don't, I'm not waiting on so and so or this and that to come. But then our action shows otherwise. And I spoke on that. And I do this a lot too. I always like, hey, I spoke on that. I had this video. Because, that's the reality of it. I did do that video. But anyway, it's like again, not going to anything externally, and realizing we got to keep it real with ourselves. Oh, that's what I was speaking on. Our actions show what's really going on, and not our words, in essence. And again, look, gotta, gotta be able to face your own truth of like what you've been dealing with, you know. But mastering knowing ourselves to the fullest, applying information. Because another thing too, one person, could probably look at this channel and be like, oh, bro, you spoke on this, so how you, again, back to that aspect, like, I'm able to channel energy. But if I'm channeling energy, say for instance, I'm channeling energy that's truthful. But if I'm not following that truth that I'm channeling, because I do it again, because with speaking on channeling, sometimes you could be like a witness, like where you're channeling information, but you're like consciously not there, like you're just a full channel. And sometimes you could be channeling lightly and kind of be witnessing it, from a conscious perspective. But just because I'm channeling that energy doesn't mean it's taking care of those actions as well. Like I could channel a message and speak on that, but what am I actually doing and applying within my realm of reality to really shift my subconscious from this waiting for the Messiah shit, this waiting on Jesus, or this crystal gonna fix me, or again, this YouTube video gonna fix me, or whatever the case may be. We all then traded in Jesus for something else in some way, form, or fashion, And with some adept people, have been so on point to where they may have never come across this energy before, where they just always been so on point with it, Kudos to those beings, as well. But you could channel energy, but I have to apply that energy and program it into my subconscious that, all right, this is the truth and this is what I should be dealing with, Again, back to my little notes. Dream language, subconscious talk, what I'm saying? Paying attention to what our dreams telling us. I had a dream where my pops was rolling up some like we was about to smoke, and I took some like amethyst, some little crystals and stuff, and rolled it in the blunt, and we smoked that. I gotta tap into my inner realm and see what that message means for me, what I'm saying? Because somebody else can't necessarily tell me what that message means for me. And hence why I be having to give so many disclaimers when I do tarot readings. It's like, don't let this replace your inner guidance. This helps, and hence why a lot of people make sure, I think, about going to Mystic Journeys in LA, and where they got that little disclaimer, like they just call that shit straight up entertainment. They like all the like, and in the same sentence talk about like, hey, we got some of the best intuitive and psychic readers in LA, but then at the same time, like, hey, this is all entertainment, because they, you don't want to get lost up in that sauce of like, oh, well, Universal said in this reading that, nah, nigga, you gotta go within yourself, before I kill. You can come on screen right quick if you want. You want to come on screen and speak, tell everybody or something, or say something. I don't know.
About?
I don't know. You just speaking or
Wait.
Whatever.
Wait. What's that? No. Hi guys. I kind of look like I just woke up from a nap because I did, but my name's Tatiana. I am a Reiki healer, tarot reader, yoga instructor, do all those kind of things. So if you're into that, be sure to check out my website, luvlanguage.space. That's luvlanguage.space. And feel free to contact me too if you just want to talk about any spiritual teams. I'm open for conversation. Hey, T crazy girl. Hey.
Hey, Mrs. Universal. All right. I like that. All right.
Me too. Let's see. What were you just talking about right now?
We just talking about breaking out of you know, the external aspect of, what we turn certain things into, like the Jesus aspect, and waiting on something external. Is about doing the inner work. Because kind of how I spoke on the Reiki and stuff is like with all of our modalities, tapping into them, but how could this help me master my inner realm, Like that's basically it,
Yeah. And I guess I can speak on that because especially coming up in, what do you call it, the N.A.M?
Now,
New
yeah,
Age movement,
in N.A.M, yep,
or
now.
New Age spirituality. Um, and he was talking about like light versus dark. That's something that I dealt with heavily, is wanting to be like that positive person all the time, and focusing on the light aspect of everything, and then getting, like a slap in the face or in the future when something in the universe came to balance me out. It's all about balance too. So that's when those modalities come in, when you're serving them and not allowing them to serve you. They'll either come up missing, or something will happen to where it disassociates you from it, meaning you'll not want to use it anymore because it'll bring up a certain situation in your life to create that dissatisfaction. So it's all a balance with everything. Like, yeah, you can praise the crystals to a certain extent, but know that you're praising another extension of you, right? Those crystals are just you, and you created those crystals. Like, my favorite is Moldavite, and oh my goodness, perfect story. This is I have a piece of Moldavite in my hair right now. This is my 6th piece of Moldavite, and it's because each time I created super in-depth attachment to it, it would leave me, it would disappear, and I get so sad because I'm like, oh my gosh, my synchronicities won't be here, all my opportunities are fading.
Jesus left me. Jesus left.
And like the first time I became very depressed, just trying to like disassociate my own self with it. It was long gone, but I was still holding on to it. And I would get another piece and it would happen again, until I realized that Moldavite is me. Like, that's my favorite crystal of all time, but it's still me. It's still an extension of me and a part of me, if that makes sense. So once I realized that, my last piece, the 6th piece, which 6 meaning the balance, right? Masculine and feminine. 6 meaning materialism, or just that in between the realms of the 5th and the 3rd, I feel like, or the 4th and the 3rd. Now I get to keep it. So like, it hasn't left, and I don't worry about like checking it all the time, making sure it's on my person. It's just there. I use it when I need to. I don't when I don't. So.
Oh, cool. Hit that drink.
Yeah. I was on the scene. Did you tell them about the petal light?
Yeah, I said something about the petal light. Yeah, we got petal light in the drink as well. But yeah, and matter of fact, yeah, I'ma remember to put like in my little details link her information, because I saw one of y'all ask. Yeah, type up the link. So we're gonna do that. Yep, yeah, Candace Jackson, shout out to you, because I always see you commenting and coming through. We are building that team of independent thinkers. And again, yep.
Soul fam.
And we all are here for different reasons. Yeah, like again, what's your terms and conditions? No, not my terms and conditions, but what's your terms and conditions? Again, but yeah, we're gonna continue. That's basically, I ain't gonna say that's it. I got a few little things to iterate on. But
Oh, there we go.
Did
That's
you
all I
want
need.
some? You
No, I'm
good?
good for right now.
All right.
What you feeling?
Cause if
Feeling
I
a
s-
little woozy?
no, I was just gonna say I'm end up
uh,
killing it before you get some more.
no. Okay.
You
I think I can
good?
get another soda.
All right. I'm gonna leave a little bit. What time is it? Uh, for one, you know, cause that's another thing too, and I see why I always would kind of have that vibe of not answering all questions, but just to I feel like I could answer that one. Is 8:14 this way? But like shit, time don't exist. It just exists enough for us to make sure. Matter of fact, enough to be that flame under our ass to make sure we taking care of our sole purpose. You know. But this is we timeless beings. Because again, I had to catch myself with answering questions that just was like some dumb. Cause I remember having to say that. I think I did an IGTV video about that, where it's like, I think that, like, where I had to come to the conclusion where, there is a such thing as a dumb question. Like, yeah, you could say, and I'm not saying that question you just asked is dumb, T crazy girl, but just that aspect of, being aware. Well, again, who say we have to be, again, that human moralistic system, and be nice, it's like, bro, if somebody say some shit, I'm gonna just ignore it, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I don't have to cater to some ignorant shit if I don't feel like I have to cater to it. Oh, your mom and dad gonna whip you if you don't answer that question. Your mom and daddy gonna whip you. Why? I'm out of my parents' house, so I ain't gotta worry about that. You know, I realize that I am, extension of source, so ain't no sky daddy. Your sky daddy gonna come and whip you. Your sky daddy Jesus gonna come from off of the cross and spank you. That's awesome. But again, we gotta be keeping it real about, this shit. Cause the moment we try to be any type of fake about not facing up to some shit that we have to face up to, you know, we're gonna continue in those lesson loops, as I like to call them. We're gonna keep looping and looping until you're looping back and you're like, oh, I'm going into the light. I'm going into the light. Wah, wah. And you come back into this bitch, and the lights is a fucking hospital. Or maybe if you reincarnate after this, you know, the people be done put in so much work that maybe you might be coming into a doula office. But regardless, you'll still be coming back to this bitch. Whether a doula taking care of you or the doctors, and you see how real that is. Again, hence why a lot of people do, like speak on like again. Not looking at because when you hear jail and you got this subconscious programming of like, oh, jail is bad or this is good. I'd rather say this because this is a good word. Like, what do you call this bitch? Jail, prison, whatever, whatever. Again, as long as you're not judging it as right or wrong in that sense of it. But again, like, you could be walking around this bitch and being the healthiest person in jail. A nigga eating vegetables in jail is still in fucking jail with the other inmates, regardless of, yeah, he's fucking, his aura shining or whatever, whatever. But is he learning or doing what he gotta do to get out of jail? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, same thing with, oh, is Earth flat or is Earth round? Nigga, is the cell wall fucking circular? Is the cell wall fucking square? Is my cell triangle? It don't matter. You in the fucking cell. You just gotta learn how to jailbreak this motherfucker. I mean, to some extent, knowing how the jail is made. But nope, nope, nope. I don't even want to get in that because I caught that bullshit. Going within, as above, so below, as within, so without. You know what I'm saying? It's the inner vibes, mastering your inner universe. Again, knowing ourselves to the fullest and applying the information, and especially to our unique build. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember again how I caught myself with one of those posts, and I had to end up commenting underneath, like realizing like again, like whenever you fall asleep at the wheel, because that's basically what happened. Like whenever you might do some shit that might fall into, say for instance, the New Age movement vibes, or where it's just like not in alignment with your true godly self, is because you kind of fell asleep at the wheel for a second. As soon as you fall asleep, nigga, that parasite energy, I'm like, oh, I got the wheel. And again, no good or bad, right or wrong, you know what I'm saying? Again, that pressure to make a diamond. You don't become a diamond unless you got the pressure. See it. Got to have the pressure to become a diamond, or either stay a lump of coal. It's either a piece of coal, you know. Matter of fact, look, shungite is very, very beautiful and helpful, but you either could be just a piece of shungite, a piece of carbon by itself. And again, ain't nothing wrong with a piece of carbon either. It serves a purpose. Nope. Or you could be a diamond after that carbon gets pressurized. That's another unique aspect too of like as above so below, as within so without, is that we use the analogy how pressure makes a diamond. And literally, again, not to make this about no bodysuit shit, because it don't matter if you like whether you have melanin in your bodysuit or not, whatever. Again, that may point to a certain aspect of your energy or whatever the case may be, but that's not the end all be all of what kind of vehicle you're driving, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, your vehicle might be revved up or whatever, but maybe your vehicle revved up in jail, like what you could only do so much. You gotta learn how to do more than what's just, gotta learn how to tap into your inner energies and learn how to get out of this realm, point blank, period. You know. But cause that's the end all be all, like all this other shit just be kind of like talking about stuff to tickle our little, logical fancy, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, and again, I done been in that realm, but and that's the beauty of the growth is you go through all those different aspects. Of course, I done talked on, well, this happened in that land, and so this and that, and which for the most part, when I look back, it's still in a manner where you could learn from it in order to pull yourself away from this realm. But at the end of the day, that's what it should be about. Like if I'm learning about Kemet, like what am I learning about Kemet that could help for me to lead this realm? Because it does help to know that the 18th dynasty is what came in and is what came in and changed things into kind of like the religious politics. So religious politics, and that's another thing. Like that shit started before a white person even appeared. Hence why you know uh we going through shit because we the ones who started the bullshit in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Before you could even talk about some white man did this, or again for what somebody called a white man or European and this and that, you know, and it's all just little names. Cause another thing too is all on how you resonate in this realm. Cause some quote unquote what you may call white people may be just as tapped into the information and doing they little works to step up to whatever level they try to step up to or whatever, because again it's a unique experience on this plane of existence, and like how I spoke on my two IGTV videos, if I'm the creator of this realm, like if I plant a seed, whether that seed was GMO or not, I planted that seed, regardless, I gotta claim my seeds, gotta be accountable for what, and just accountability is basically just not externalizing things, it just goes back to not externalizing that shit to like, oh, well, they do this and they implemented these things. And again, like I say, I use the word they for lack of a better word, but it's all us, it's like it's all me. And that's, as a matter of fact, I even don't even want to use us. It's all me. But, you want to be careful with that. Like, we got to do, no, I have to do my spiritual work and trust that I'll be that beacon, and as being a beacon, it could help somebody, in that sense. But I'm just worried about, and I say worried, I'm making sure that I'm mastering my inner universe. You know, being the best universal ever, because that's all I know how to be is, universal frequencies, and and hence why again it's so important. Like, cause another thing, that's I spoke on that before, like with the past lives. You're not learning about a past life just so you can walk around and be like, hey, I once was a Viking in a past life, or I once was a Moor in a past life, or I once was a fucking, you know, again a fairy, a mer person. All that counts. All that is good to know, but it's good to know so we could realize how we could master. Like it's helping us. It helped giving us insight on our inner universe and what we got to do right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Candace Jackson. Yeah, it ain't because again that's how you get stuck in this bitch too. Like you wanna this race and that race and hence why matter of fact shout out to Bob Marley. Oh, what a rat race. If y'all haven't heard that song, check out that song. You got the rat. Wait, I forgot all the lyrics. Matter of fact, probably that. Nope, I ain't gonna blame. Ooh, caught that quick. I ain't gonna blame it on the rum. That's just me. Bang, bang. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You gotta be that sharp with it. That's what time it is or what time it ain't. Right now. But, but yeah, that rat race song, look, like it ain't about no race. Be racing in this motherfucker. You be winning races. You be the first. At least you could win a gold medal in this motherfucker. I ain't trying to win a gold medal in this motherfucker. I ain't trying to be the best human. I'm trying to be the God that I am, so I could rise from out of this realm. You know, from out of this the black box. You know. Because again, another aspect of having a melanated bodysuit is because what you get a tan from. You get a tan from laying out in the sun for a long ass time. So equate like those hours of laying out in the sun to like many lifetimes of being underneath this sun and not getting the fucking lesson. You know, and that's why quote unquote, and again, this all goes into why some melanated people or people with melanated bodysuits may be tapped in or have a certain, you know, it's easier for them to tap into that knowledge in so many ways, form, and fashion, because the motherfucker been coming back to this bitch and having to learn these lessons. It's like, again, I ain't no good or bad, no right or wrong, but motherfucker keep failing the grade, that ain't necessarily something to brag on. you know. But again, ain't nothing to hate yourself over either, you know. It's all conscious and unconscious, yeah. And some people use the word unconscious, so unconscious, subconscious. Think about a submarine. A submarine is submerged underwater, you know what I'm saying? And we think about the subconscious mind and the analogy to water, and stepping into the unknown, Check out my Truman Show video. Should be on the politics video, possibly. For sure, probably on the subconscious programming video. I mean, playlist, excuse me. But, as he was trying to leave away from the show, we find out like this whole little show was, basically is analogy for being in this realm and realizing it's a hologram. But he was basically on a TV show from when he was born. So he was born into a TV show. The TV show was about him all the way through. And then as he got older, he realized like, wait, like my whole fucking life, like, like seemed like people following me and seemed like people saying the same shit to me every day on some human moralistic robotic ass shit. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Matter of fact, that's a 2-part video if you want to check it out. But, and in order to leave, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the movie. So, matter of fact, spoiler, if you want to watch Truman Show, before I kind of spill the rest of it, you might want to stop watching for a second and then go watch Truman Show and then come back. And anyway, and towards the end, he had to, go out into the waters, in order to, he was trying to leave the show, and he went out into the waters, into the unknown. And matter of fact, and everything within the little show, wherever it was, you know, at or whatever, the person over the show had control over the weather and all this type of shit. So, like, and he was on some shit like, well, we gotta keep this show rolling. So even if Truman damn near gotta die, you know, to not find out the truth that he was in this show, then we gonna fucking kill Truman. And that's again not looking in the sense of that movie, you know what I'm saying? Because we ain't dying, or we ain't going nowhere. It's a transition from out of this bodysuit. The creator ain't going nowhere, but these creations, aka these vehicles, this creation, again, like I spoke on in my IG video, this creation right here was born January 5th, 1987. This little born suit, this little vehicle, and this vehicle is going to expire. But my infinite soul, that's a part of, or that is the creator, it's not going nowhere. And that's what, again, people may have trouble fathoming that with the logic that wants to put everything in a logical reasoning box of like, oh no, it can't be on and on forever. It has to have some type of limits to it, or it's like, bro, look. And that dude, cause I had those little shit yourself moments, quote unquote, in DMT trips, where it's like, and always I would feel extremely overwhelmed whenever I would try to fathom being everything, or I say being the no thing, and being around forever and ever without no beginning or end. Cause that could really, like when you're trying to conceptualize everything, it's like, wait, how could you not have a beginning or end? And it's like, look, it is what it is, motherfucker. Don't try to fucking don't try to put it in a box, cause you're gonna bust your brain. Like, straight up. Oh, Candace dripping that sauce. What you talking about, Miss Candace? Yup, got them powers back. Yup, cause bruh. So my two part video that I did before this one, so my little part 1 and part 2 video I did before this one, I spoke on that. Like early in my growth, I was having this realization, but and again, it's part of my growth that I, didn't stay in that place per se, but like when I was in that little realm of just knowing, like, hey, these parasite, well, more so being in alignment with that, I'm the creator of my realm, and almost again, like I told you on my first download, of just to look at this place like it's just me, like again, because that was best, like from my acid trip, from my DMT trips, that's what I caught, and that's what I was running with. But yeah, like I used the analogy, it was like getting jumped, because again, I'm in a realm where air almost all, I was a little bit. There's no such thing as before your time in that sense of it, but again, in Louisiana, in a place where most people are not grasping this aspect. So, and again, think of it not necessarily people, but an energy, and this energy, it was like getting jumped by a bunch of people, and I'm like, I'm whipping the air, like, look, I'm getting it in. Again, using the analogy of a fight, because again, it's not about no external fight like what somebody trying to get you to think. That's what somebody wants you to think. That is the external fight. Again, every if you just look at it with these, you start to realize, damn, yeah, that is true. Like they're always trying to get you to look outside, or fight something outside of you, or turn it into, because that's what they want the battle to be. Like they want you to think it's an external battle, you know what I'm saying? But now I went on a tangent and kind of went off of where I was, but to come back. Oh yeah, it was like being jumped. And like, yeah, I was getting it in, but then after so long, it's like, I just kind of succumb. And again, me though, because I have to allow for myself. I could have stayed in, because I ain't gonna lie, like I would stay in like in that mode every chance I could stay in it, but then it just was like, all right, kind of like the rope a dope. Great analogy, you know, how Muhammad Ali whipped George Foreman ass was that he knew that in order to whip George Foreman ass, he had to fucking, you know, do the rope a dope. And for those in which I'm a youngster myself to the Muhammad Ali days, but you know I do my research and went and watched those fights. But basically, the rope a dope was where he wasn't trying to go head to head with Foreman, you know, because he realized, you know, like damn, I might not, you know, win in that sense of it. So what he would do is kind of like rope a dope, like he'd go against the ropes and let Foreman throw his best punches and this and that, but he was kind of like protecting himself, you know, kind of spar a little bit back, but you know, he would, you know, let Foreman kind of hit him up, and then after a while, Foreman would kind of, you know, lose a little energy or whatever. Matter of fact, for those of y'all familiar with playing the game, like fight nights and all that, where you had a certain energy level, and if like you, especially when it got like later in the game, like where the game start really getting advanced, or if you like tried to go up in there like on some Street Fighter shit, and just because again with those little fake games, they would allow for you to throw as many punches like you go fast and all that, but in the boxing games, like if you're trying to throw a flurry, like, and again, it depended on the attributes of the boxer, you know, because some boxers have more endurance or more agility, whatever, whatever. But after so long, the punches would be like, ugh, you know, because you done wasted all your power. And then that's when Muhammad Ali, pat, 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 getting that ass, you know what I'm saying? So I had to realize to rope a dope. And I had a video I did not too long ago about rubbing the zombie meat on you, you know, like in a zombie movie, you know, in order to like it was almost speaking to like disguising your power levels in so many words, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, we watch the zombie movies where the zombie apocalypse out there, and in order for like they gotta go to a spot outside the safe house to go get some food or some shit, so they gotta like take some zombie shit and rub it on them or whatever, whatever. And as they're going out, the zombies don't really realize that that's really still a living person, or you know, somebody with a soul. You know. So yeah. But you know, but yeah, it's again. And you notice as I'm spilling this real shit, they ain't got like no trollish type people in this, and that's unique. I'm very appreciative to see that reflection. You know, but because again, though, if I would have those type of bullshit ass trolls in my in the thing, it was due to some type of energy going on inside of it. But because I'm ethering my own energy, you know, and when I say ethering again, that's not you're not killing your ego in that sense, because then you're still creating like some type of fight or battle in that essence. Again, like your ego. Uh, you know, I think about Terrence McKenna. You know, I would jokingly say, you know, you got a healthy aspect of your ego to know enough that when your stomach gets hungry, when you get hungry, to stick the spoon in your mouth instead of somebody else's mouth. Or again, the ego serves a purpose enough to know that, you know, like, hey, I'm on my little unique experience, but it's not to let the ego run rampant, you know, because again, like I'm on my again, that speaks back to everything I'm talking about. Like it's no external situation. Like somebody else not gonna live my soul purpose for me, and then I'm gonna go and transition out of this realm because somebody like, hey, Universal, don't worry about it. I'm gonna do all of your soul purpose for you. Well, then what they doing? Like what they doing for their soul purpose? If they living out my shit, you know. So again, healthy ego enough to have that unique experience from my realm of reality, you know. But you know, yeah, Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time. He was the GOAT, and no coincidence that he was a Capricorn, you know. And that's not to get lost in that zodiac sign shit either, you know, to keep it real. You know, I have that awareness of, you know, what energies flow. Because even when I bring up, like, hey, new moon in this, or full moon in this, like, and remember, like, these astrological signs and this energy exists within. Because I be catching it. Like, if I don't be catching myself, I could slip into, like, externalizing it too much. And to where it's like, oh, the moon gonna make me act like this or this and that. Yeah, it has a certain energy, but just think of it as your inner moon. is full. Or your inner moon is on new moon mode. You know what I'm saying? And not know, the one in the sky. Whatever's in the sky is a reflection of what's projecting from our inner universe. When you close your eyes, do you see that fucking moon out there the way it look? No. Just think about it like that too. You know. Do you have a website yet? Working on it. Working on it. But hey, X Vibe, shout out to you. Yep, y'all. It ain't about. And again, matter of fact, speaking about that, it ain't about no popularity contest. Like the likes and stuff is just for the algorithm of YouTube to make sure that the videos is being seen, and in the sense of again, this information being out there to help others. Because that's for the most part, like you know, no matter how much we're not doing it for likes, all teachers, or quote unquote teachers slash students, are doing this for the shit to be heard, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not out here, technically. I mean, to some extent, we are doing it for our soul health. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say, oh, I'm not doing this for my health. To some extent, you could almost say, it is for your soul health, because it's part of my purpose. So, I'm doing this for my soul purpose. You know, like how the press conferences for the athletes. I'm doing this so I don't get fined. I'm down here on Earth so I don't get fined, motherfucker. Motherfucker. Yeah. But this is all internal energies. And again, healing and helping is more so through being a beacon. Yeah, no. And how to break out of our human moralistic system, and how to break out of that external dependency. Ain't no aliens come and save you. Ain't no crystals gonna save you. Again, like, I could work with a crystal. I could work with rose quartz to heal my inner mother, let's just say. But then, and I say heal my inner mother because it's not gonna do it that itself. So let me rephrase that. I could work with rose quartz to kind of amplify the motherly energy and make me feel unconditional love. But then how am I using that feeling of unconditional love to master my inner universe, and reverse some subconscious programming that's harmful, that's gonna keep me in this realm? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about all going back to mastering myself, applying this shit, and again, applying it to a way that helps me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's what people get it twisted, and why a lot of times they promote, like, you know, uh, helping yourself as something selfish. And it was funny, the same people who would say, "Oh, it's selfish to promote yourself," is all they do is worry about themselves, but from extreme ego aspect. It's like, and we gotta take care of ourselves. If I'm not out here taking care of myself and doing what I gotta do in my universe, I wouldn't be able to be in front of y'all doing this video. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because we all different. Like, some are, again. I know, again, knowing thyself. I know that part of, like, quote unquote teaching or whatever. Again, I got student slash teacher. I'm always learning, but a part of that aspect is realizing, like, it is a part, like, because some people are not meant to have, like, YouTube channels, like you teaching in other aspects. And again, it's really about being a beacon. But we do have little modalities we teach on. Some people teach on Reiki. But matter of fact, the Queen do Reiki work. Do tarot readings. I tap into telling people about crystals. And all these different things. But again, it's about dealing with these things, and using it to help us to break out of our humanity and tap into the God self. And hence again why every story go back to being scared of the Titans, oh the Titans, oh the Nephilim returning, oh the Giants returning, oh the great. You could go back to back on all these stories, and hence why horror movies always again like trying to scare you of the dark. You know what I'm saying? Scare you away from your own subconscious mind, scare you away from your own shadow work that you need to do, and your own little inner. When I say demons, not no bad thing in that sense of it, you know, again, no good, bad, right or wrong. It's, you know, just those inner little energies that, you know, that in essence, again, we learn how to tap into, you know. But Mike the Breeze, I'm doing great. I'm doing swell. Yeah, that's the balance of it all. Like again, by doing my inner work and being, you know, doing what I gotta do for myself, it's gonna indirectly help others. And I say indirectly, but again, like as I'm doing what I gotta do for me, it doesn't have to become a, oh, I gotta save the world, because I'm gonna just be being a beacon and it's gonna automatically save the world. You know what I'm saying? Say save the world, because you gotta be careful with saying shit like that. Teach his own on, you know, some people, you know, again, I ain't telling you how to talk. If you feel you could say save the world and not get caught up in the program of thinking you gotta externally give everybody, you know, give again like helping the rainforest or giving hamburgers to homeless people have to be something that comes from me, you know, being in alignment with my inner work and being my greatest version. That's something from my inner guidance that I feel I should be doing, but not doing it because, hey, the New Age movement said I gotta be nice and do humanitarian things, and keyword why they kind of may use that word humanitarian, because again, we are on a human experience, but it's going through again. The humanity served its purpose as being pressured to be a diamond, you know, because we not staying in this human form. Again, it's a little vehicle for us to learn our little lessons, but we expanding outside of this realm. But yeah, okay, that's another thing. I'm gonna soon take me a little puff again, but for again for my realm of reality, for what I'm dealing with in my moment, I want to fall back for a little bit, you know, especially to make sure that, you know, I'm smoking the herb and the herb not smoking me, as I like to say. I mean, yeah, just to touch briefly, Naya Idawu. Yeah, shadow work is like looking within yourself, and you know, again. So I always use the analogy. You know, you can't run from yourself, and there's certain things. Like, I tap into this a little bit since I'm still here, and I could feel I could do it. Let's see in there. Mm. Uh, ah. But so you know, like for one, our shadow self basically is created is a lot of, as much as we say, all right, yeah, it's the subconscious realm, but it's also root chakra work as well. Our root chakra deals with our earliest development, you know, like the first 7 years from when we come out the womb, you know. Again, I'm talking about the earliest stages from almost while we still in the womb, and hence why, again, they created this, we created this hospital situation on the bigger aspect of it, but, you know, again, it turned into these hospitals and stuff, like knowing that, all right, the subconscious is programmed from early in the game, and all this shit could be traumatizing from early in the game, because also from slavery and shit, like, you know, trauma is passed through the DNA. So if I'm banging up everybody beforehand, you know, your mama went through it, your mama went through it, that shit gonna pass down through your genetics, you know. And that's facts. Again, we're accountable for our transformation, so it's not to blame it on that or to look at it as, oh man, because of that trauma from slavery. Again, you created slavery. You know, you created the pressure to make a diamond out of yourself, so don't get lost in that sauce. But yeah, the shadow work again is like paying attention to those aspects. So that's where I was at. You know, kudos to me having a good memory while drinking. But anyway, uh, you know, the first aspects of you being taught, like, hey, this is desirable behavior and this is undesirable behavior. Bam, the shadow self was created. You know what I'm saying? Basically, because then you start to begin to shove certain things into the darkness of your psyche. You know, like, so, you know, if your parents viewed having sex as bad, or they showed it, like, so they may have not verbalized it, but they kind of moved in a type of way that made it feel like sex is something to be ashamed of or scared of or something that's wrong. Then you create that in your realm. So all those moments you had sex, you know, as a female, you might have had a train ran on you, this and that. And I'm saying this, but this again, this is all get out of your human moralistic mind, because you'll hear that and be like, oh, train, that's a human moralistically wrong. You know, whatever. We not humans. You know what I'm saying? Let's remember that. But like, you know, whatever little traumatizing situation, you know, and I say traumatizing in that sense, but you know, whatever little situation happened due to, again, go back to the example with sex. If your parents made you feel like it was wrong, and again, you chose your parents and chose that situation as well, but you're looking at it as wrong, then when you have sex and you do these things, you're gonna shove that to the back of your psyche, like, oh, let me push this to the side and act like that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And then as you grow up, you know, you keep trying to run away from these things, and they keep coming back up in the way you deal with things in your reality. You know, so the shadow work is facing those things that you tried to push to the side. Because again, another aspect of the N.A.M, you know what I'm saying, that engagement aspect is like, you know, oh, you always have to be positive or pay attention to the positive. Like, again, like I tell people, of course, as beings, you know, our existence is being blissful, you know, for most of the part of our existence in that sense of it. But again, it's realizing that, you know, it is a balance. Like, it is the darkness to create the light, you know. And what I was gonna say, oh, so if I break my leg, you know what I'm saying, I got a broke leg, you know, I'm not gonna heal that leg by being like, oh, since I got a broke leg and a broke leg is negative, let me not look at my leg. Like, you know, let me not look at my leg and just pay attention to only the positive. If I just stay positive, then my leg will be fixed. Now, let me put an asterisk by that and say, now, not just looking at the positive aspect, but of course, there are some people who could, you know, heal things with their mind. So, not necessarily saying that they're being overly positive, but, you know, some people who could break down this matrix with their visualization so strongly that, you know, they could just picture having a healthy, unbroke leg, and their leg could, you know, go back to being healed. But again, back to this analogy. You know, if you break your leg and you on some like, oh man, I'm gonna just be positive and not look at my leg, then your leg is only gonna get worse. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't giving it the proper attention. What the word gnosis mean to know. You know what I'm saying? What the doctors do, a diagnosis. So if you got a broken leg, you got a diagnosis. Or if you got something going on within your realm, again, back to ethering your ego and being truthful. But again, if I got a broke leg, I gotta diagnose it and go to that gnosis and know, like, all right, I got a fucking broke leg, and I gotta acknowledge the pain as they're like, oh yeah, this shit hurt. You know what I'm saying? But again, I don't stay in that pain. And when I acknowledge it, I don't have to stay saying, oh, you know, I got a broke leg, but you do have to acknowledge it and realize, like, all right, I do need to heal this, and this shit hurt. But then from there, you could heal that, you know, and because running away from it is only gonna make it worse, you know. And literally too, because if you try to run away on a broke leg, that shit would get worse. Shit, crack in more places. But can't say she chilling on the smoke. Yep. We're not saving anyone. We are raising our consciousness, which will open the minds of those who are ready to hear it. Yep, yep. To the little cliche statement. Again, and I spoke on that, like, you gotta realize with the little N.A.M, New Age movement, again, it's speaking some truths, within it, but they're speaking partial truths. Like, it's only speaking the truth partially in some areas, and then it's mixing some shit up to have you confused with the shit that you should be doing. You may be like, oh man, I'm against that shit because the New Age movement said, and then like they confuse it in a certain little manner. So you gotta know what's going on in that sense. But what I was gonna iterate. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the cliche statement because that's one of the. It would sound that's what I was gonna say because it may sound like a little overly spiritual vibe, but it is a real thing. It's like until the student is ready, then that's when the teacher appears. So it's not because again that's demonology 101. And that's another little tough cookie or pill to swallow because we've been pushed in humanity. And again, I saw myself do it, so I'm not speaking from no preaching to somebody else because I had to fix this within myself. It's not my job to convince anybody to have the realizations that I've had. Like, and hence, if anybody trying to push to get you to look at any aspect, I'm talking about any shit, the way they look at it, like that's fucking that's the energy trying to jump ship. Like they talk about worshipping or worshiping. Like that's the energy that's trying to fucking jump ship. Like, cause if you scared of bananas, you ain't gotta explain to me on why I should try to be scared of bananas too. Like, nah, nigga, if you scared of bananas, then just be scared of bananas. Don't try to push that shit on me. Or on the enlightenment thing, if crystals, you know, help you, you could just speak on it like, oh, well, hey, Moldavite helped me in this way, or Petalite helped me in this way. But I'm not gonna sit there and be like, hey, bro, like, bro, you should really get like, you gotta get a Moldavite, bro. The only way to grow, bro, you just gotta get your Moldavite, man. Like, bro, you got, like, no, like, I just could speak from my experience, and if that person wants to tap into, what I'm speaking on in that sense, then, they could check it out for themselves, but it's not for me to try to force that shit up on anybody. All right, Miss Candace and Joy, you one of the ones. You've been around for a minute. Appreciate you. But yeah, it's not about convincing anybody of anything. Again, that's why I'm always like, take what resonate, leave what don't. Because again, it's not nobody's job. Like, hey, look at this the way I look at it. Like, no. Hence why it all go back, and the whole subject of what's been talking about from the beginning is going within and not going to this external, like waiting for something external to help you. Like, don't take my advice in that sense of it. Yeah, again, you could hear things from a book, or should I say read things from a book, or yeah, you could pick up on things from a video, but it's more so like as you're watching that video or reading that book, you're gonna resonate with the things that your inner soul, your higher self, the higher self that you are. Not no higher self as though this is a separate entity from me. No, you are your higher self. Shout out to that little part on Interstellar. If you ever watched that movie, spoiler alert. Where as they were going to this other planet, and that's another whole, again, back to that programming, like going external. We gotta find this outside planet. Like, no, man, it's inner space, not outer space. Like, the way out is going in. You know what I'm saying? But when they was going to this other planet, they got to the part where the man was like he saw like this thing touching and reaching out to him, and he went to touch as well. And then come on, like in hindsight, when they coming back, like something happened where he went to a different dimension, and he was like in the tesseract. I'm not gonna go too deep into explain that shit, but if you watch the movie A Wrinkle in Time with Oprah and all that shit, but you talk about tesseract. A tesseract is like a square within a square, and it kind of constantly imploding inward and imploding or exploding outward, imploding inward, because it's kind of representation of how our inner universe again creates our external realm. But long story short, he was actually reaching out to himself, like so. The being that he was actually reaching out to was himself. You know what I'm saying? And when he made it to the planet and when it was on their way back, he tapped into a realm where he saw himself on the way there, you know. And I don't want to get deep into that aspect, but you get what I'm saying. Your higher self is you. It's not no external stuff. But yeah, because again, from the skillet to the frying pan, just because it ain't called the First Baptist Church down the street from our Savior, Mount Zion, Baptist, Holocaustic, Apostolic, First Mission Church, you know what I'm saying? You go from that to like, again, from, oh, no, it ain't that. I'm working, you know, you know, I'm into this little spiritual path. I do Yoruba now, voodoo. But I mean, if you still tapping into, again, the voodoo energies as if you're in church, like if you still, like some people, again, have swapped out the name Jesus for Oshun, or swapped out the name Jesus for Batala, or shit, even go within my realm, but I know I'm connected to that energy, know those energies are within me, and that's the energy that I'm tapped into on a high level. But like the Papa Legba is like, you don't want to turn any of that into something outside of you. You know, I know I'm a walker of the realms. I know that I tread that. Like from my DMT trips of like feeling like I was always like in between the yin and the yang. You know, like, cause that DMT shit, that's straight dropping. Again, we could tap into these realms like just by doing pranic breathing. You know, believe it or not, you know, you could your pineal will start secreting DMT, you know, when you're doing your pranic breathing. And I spoke on pranic breath, you know, it's breathing through the nose. And when you're inhaling, you're bringing the stomach out instead of your chest out. So it's like, you know, bringing the chest, the lower, you know, the lower part of your stomach out. You know, full deep breaths too. Like ain't no just no little small shit. You know, full deep breath, you know, in, and then as you exhaling, you bring your stomach back in. But you know, that creates DMT, and hence why DMT, and hence why your pineal is not a gland but an organ. You know, some people like to call it a gland, but shout out to Dr. Layala Africa for speaking on that. You know, and as I'm saying that, like, you know, like realizing with all these different things, like I could learn from Layala Africa, Bobby Hemi, Bro C. Freemanel, but again, it's like picking up on certain little unique aspects that resonate with me and that help me to master my inner universe and not just treating them like a preacher, you know. Because matter of fact, like somebody, because I give off that energy like a Bobby Hemi myself, so I could see how it was easy to, like, you know, like, oh yeah, I want to watch Universal Frequencies videos, because I know I like to watch Bobby Hemi videos, but it's not to sit there and watch them and not be doing the work, to not be, you know, like I gotta do what I gotta do, you know, like, and hence why you just would want to look at anything that you watch. Not say it's entertainment in that sense, but, you know, don't look at it as to be your guidance system. You know, like you could pick up on certain little things that your inner source, the higher self that you are may resonate with. Because again, like you know when you reading a book, or somebody might say some shit, you know, and they'll say some shit and you like your inner being like, oh no, don't follow Like that shit that they just said, don't fuck with that. And then they might come back and say some other shit where it's like, oh wait, that was pretty saucy. I'm gonna have to look, And I say you have to look at it, but then you hear it and like your inner being like, oh, that shit that they just said, though, that's some raw shit. That's that real shit. But it all goes back to your inner being. But yeah, and again, like we done all, you know, I say all. Let me catch myself. I ain't gonna put that word magic on everybody, but to some extent, well, yeah, because I mean, most of us came into this realm again with a little bit of, not knowing. Because again, like a movie, like if I'm like or living this life as well, but I'm gonna use the analogy of a movie. If I'm trying to watch this movie, like what makes a movie exciting is the fact that you haven't watched it before. Like, because if somebody come and tell you, now some people be like, oh yeah, you could tell me all the movie and I'ma still enjoy it. But I know I'm not one of those beings. Like, unless depending on the style of the movie, but if like I'm in it for the suspense and like watching that shit for myself, you know, man, don't tell me nothing about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be like, oh, baby, bro, shut up. Like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I want to, because again, if before you came down here, if you remembered every single thing, then you wouldn't be able to learn because you would be like, oh, well, I know it all. Or I remember every aspect of, you know, like you know everything that's gonna happen in the movie. Then where's the suspense? Where's the actual vibe? Because you would even lose interest in living out your life or your sole purpose if you knew every aspect of what was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit would be boring as fuck. I would seem pointless. Like, oh, I'm gonna have a child at this age, and then I have a child at this age, or I'm gonna do this, and yeah, of course we catch insights. Like, yeah, I catch insights as well. You listen to future in some way, form, or fashion. And hence though why some people may, people who are real tapped in and very psychic could run the aspect of going crazy because it's like you gotta know everything before stepping into it. Because to each his own. Some souls may be learning that type of lesson in this realm of reality. But oh, you see, T crazy girl. I mean, yeah. I just answered your question, and I probably didn't even answer your question in the sense of I ain't look at the question. Cause yeah, I'm in that mode where like if the question ain't resonating with where I'm at right now, or whatever, I'm just kind of passing it up. Cause again, on a human moralistic level, oh, Universal is being mean, and and he's being bad, which there's no good or bad, right or wrong. But again, that's that human moralistic shit. Cause I'm tired of. I don't say tired. I don't want to keep creating that energy within my reality of bowing down to certain things that I don't have to bow down to. Which it ain't about bowing down to anything in that sense of it. So yeah, you know, what does N.A.M mean? Oh, is it? I'm gonna put it in the details, but it stands for New Age Movement. And if you go look up my politics playlist, because I got plenty of playlists to help everybody key in on, on certain little subject matters that may help you, you know what I'm saying? But I spoke on the different aspects of that as well, so that you could get a deeper little understanding on that. But N.A.M stands for the New Age Movement, and how the New Age Movement almost caught a nigga slipping. Hey, who said you shouldn't use the word nigga? Well, hey, now some of y'all gotta be aware, use awareness with the way you use certain words around, certain beings, but, again, because the nigga is Naga, the Naga serpent energy, you know what I'm saying? The Nagas, uh, Go back to the Kundalini energy, and then you got I forgot the terminology or the definition of it fully, but Nagus Nagas with the Ethiopian or the Amharic word connected to like a high king or something like that, connected to Selassie. But you know, yeah, we could start saying like you my naga. Hey, bro, you into hip hop? Yeah, I'm into hip hop. Matter of fact, speaking of creating shit, hip hop is now in the dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Cause we created that shit. We, we didn't let nobody say, "Oh, well, hip hop is not a word that we created, so you cannot use that as a word." Like, nigga, hip hop. Straight up. Call it what I call it. I mean, yeah, Jordan Hurt, you quote unquote fortune telling, but I mean, that's a little vibe. Like I tell people with the tarot cards, I'm just tapping into the universe and what it's speaking to in the moment, and that these cards are basically speaking of subconscious. Like tarot readings is just a way for people to accept the psychic telling them the energies that they picking up on. Because if I just walked up to you and said, "Hey, you know, the universe is saying this to you," and because again, it's not my job to even do that in that sense. But if you volunteer, again, because you have to volunteer to a tarot card reading or whatever, it's not like it'd be different if I'm walking around forcing a tarot card reading on you, in that sense. Because then that's going against the grain of what I'm speaking to, like, because then I'm trying to become something external, like enforcing, my external energy onto you, you know. But you gotta tap into it yourself. But word. I don't have no opinion on it, you know. But as far as yeah. Again, I'm where I'm at right now. Cause again, being that beacon of light, you know, as you see me just being in my realm or whatever, you're gonna know that you don't have to answer any and all questions just because somebody asking. Cause that's not necessarily how I help you heal. I help you heal by saying, hey, within my realm in reality, in my authenticity, I don't feel like answering that question. So that's how I be a beacon. Yeah, no, yeah, no. But I'm about to be out, y'all. Only reason why I kind of stayed in because I saw the people spike. I'm like, shit, then got up to 50. Like, all right. Oh no, I ain't dissing the rap. If you got like a little, like in the comments or whatever, post a little link, and if it resonates, I'll definitely get to it and check it out. You know? But again, I ain't gonna just say, oh, like being Mr. Nice Guy, and like, oh, let me try to, as it resonates, I will do it. If it don't, it don't. Yup. They can put bootylicious in a dictionary and hip hop. Yep. The cold black. Yep. Yep. To to if I could speak on it, Well, for one, to remember y'all, because some of y'all may have came into this video late, so y'all ain't caught like some of the things I talked on earlier. But remember, it's tapping into your inner guidance. A lot of these questions you want to be asking your inner guidance. You know, like, hey, the higher self that I am, how should I go about doing this? Hey, the higher self that I am, how should I go about doing that? You know, like, hey, higher self, should I write a rap song about this? Hey, higher self, like, what should I do? Like it. And again, it's a constant growth because we all may have slipped into these places of thinking that we gotta go externally for some of these things. But I get that as well, that this is a build. So again, if it ain't too crazy, so what should I do to build my own focus? It's basically building up your willpower, like and just being more for like stepping out of building the habitual nature. Everything is about building the habitual nature. You don't go in the gym one time and pick up a 10-pound weight and be like, oh, I'm done, I'm buff for life. Now, I always put an asterisk by that. If you're a person who done tapped into your metaphysical abilities on a level where, like you could go and pick up a weight one time and then you kind of got some like visualization technique where you power up your muscle. Matter of fact, Cyclomancy speak on that book by Frank Rudolph. But like, yeah, there is ways for, again, uh, you could fucking drink battery acid if you know how to fucking tap into your subconscious realm to know fully how much this is a hologram. Like, but you gotta go and learn. You gotta talk to your higher self or be a higher self. Guide me to what exercises I need to do in order to do this type of shit, or what books I need to read, or whatever. But again, getting the aspect from my higher self. But yep, I'm grateful that I'm able to help with that. Yes, you can heal with your thought. In essence, we say thought, but yeah, you could heal it. Again, it goes back to your subconscious realm, and if you subconsciously programmed to believe that crystals ain't shit, then crystals ain't gonna be shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you subconsciously program to think that you can't send energy through your hands, and you won't be able to, because you're gonna always doubt yourself. And if you're doubting yourself that strongly, then that energy is just not gonna really work for you. Yeah, and I get it. You say the only reason why you ask is for opinions, but that's a thin line between you know opinions and just certain things that. But I get what you're saying. I'm about to be out, y'all. I smell something cooking in here. And part of being in this little vehicle is putting some little fuel in it because I choose to. Some people choose to be a breatharian. I ain't knocking them. Do I have a P.O. box? Oh, that's so synchronistic. I will be copping one Monday. But matter of fact, any and all donations is greatly appreciated. I got the donation links in my details section. So if y'all, want to donate, it is all greatly appreciated. I trust that You know, again, it ain't about. It's a balance with that discretion. That hey, I do have a donation link, whatever, whatever. But you know, it ain't to be out here because again, the abundance is already within, and it's gonna flow through however it flows. I shouldn't be sitting here depending on some people, you know, just from one little, like how they said, putting all my eggs in one basket. You know, I do this because I love it. You know, like a nigga ain't gonna do 3 hour videos and hour long videos and all that and do over 1,000 videos. Again, because all that came before I was even getting money from YouTube or donations. And hence, again, knowing your sole purpose. In most cases, I'm about to go out on that. Like, it's going to be what you love to do so much, like, you just don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, again, yes, we want to sustain ourselves and things of this nature. But, you know, it's like doing what we love going to be on such a level where, again, you just could do it without getting paid, you know what I'm saying? Like, and by you stepping into that vibe of it and you know, in essence, stepping into your own inner abundance, like the abundance will reflect, you know, and come into your realm externally as well. But yeah, that's how you gonna know your soul purpose. It's also something that comes so easy to you. Other people looking at like, oh man, like doing a video for an hour long or talking about this, you know. But it just seemed like fucking child's play to you. It seemed like something that just comes like breathing and fucking taking a shit. But yeah, it's just something that comes with these. But all right, y'all, I'm out. Matter of fact. Uh, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna put the queen's information uh in this in the little box, so y'all could go follow Luvlanguage and what it is, love dot language on Instagram, huh? LUV dot language, lang edge. Yeah, that's how you say it. Again, breaking down the human moralistic system. You know, who said you can't have a little sip while you do a video? And matter of fact, y'all right here to witness. Did I sound like an outlandish drunk person? I mean, I probably came off as outlandish drunk person to somebody who's stuck in the human moralistic system, of course. But you know, it is what it is. But again, uh, you know, if you vibe with the video for the algorithm's sake of that, you know, hit the like button. Make sure if you vibing with the channel, make sure you hit the little bell icon that notifies you every time I do a video. And any and all donations greatly appreciated. Oh, also I got the Patreon page, and the Patreon link is within the details as well. You know, I'm looking to do more like behind the scenes, like gonna be for more like the behind the scenes interviews, more like applicable exercises and stuff like that. You know, but I'm going, you know, it's just going with the flow of it. But I'm out, y'all. Happy now. Now is the vibrate. I already know we're not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now, the only thing exists. Well, in the future, you know, man, the future is right now. You know, in the past is right now. We tapping into the past and the future simultaneously in our now. And the reason why I say not too far in the future, because again, you go too far in the future, you'll be living in the future, and then you're missing out on the now. And remember, our actions speak louder than words. You know, because if our actions showing that we're not indulging in our now, that's almost like slapping our higher self in the face. You know, the higher self that we are. It's like a slap in the face, like, oh, I don't fuck with my moment. Fuck my moment. I'd rather be in the future. Or fuck my moment. I'd rather be in the past. That's what you're saying with your actions, you know. But I digress. But yep, Jalen Amen or Aman or Amen, how you say it, but happy now, y'all. I'm out. Peace, peace.